Want to welcome everybody to part 4 and the final episode of this 1934 Crosley 179. Now you're looking at a very dirty chassis here, and I'm not looking forward to cleaning this. I can tell you truthfully, I hate doing this. It sucks, and I don't want to do it. But you know, sometimes you got to do stuff you don't want to do, and that time has come. So, can I get this thing clean? I mean, this thing's... I don't think there's anything shiny underneath this. What do you think? I got me some Scotch-Brite pads here. So let me just try a few things and see if I can get maybe this layer of crap off it. If not, I don't know what I'm going to do. Let's just try cleaning it first. Okay, first thing, let's just take the Scotch-Brite pad and try it without anything on it. Just the pad and the metal. Let's see what happens. Look at that dust. Looks like there might be some shine there after all. Let's try a little brake clean on here.
Yeah!
Look at that. There might be some hope for this chassis after all, huh?
The chassis.
A little bit of rust on there. Well, it looks like I can definitely make it better. I'm going to continue scrubbing this until it's all complete. Oh man.
Suck it up.
Look at the fun we're having.
That wire brush looks pretty good, but it's kicking up way too much dust.
I'm having fun.
Ladies and gentlemen, look at Kong, the eighth wonder of the world.
Who knew that this nice shiny finish was beneath all that dirt and grime? I polished that up with a little bit of Flitz polish.
Gee, you're looking swell. Looks as good as new now, eh?
Looks mighty fine. Mighty fine. It turned out so good that I don't have to paint it. I was thinking about painting this a copper color along with the transformer, but I think it looks just fine the way it is. Don't you people think it looks pretty good?
Why don't you take a picture? It'll last longer.
Well, thank you, Pee-wee. Now it matches the tuner. I still got to do the frame that holds the tuner. It's in pretty bad condition. I did get some new grommets. I think those are going to fit just fine. The first thing you notice on this frame here is that section here is bent here. Let's take this wing nut out of here. See if we can straighten that with a hammer.
The hammer of Thor!
That's better. Yuck. Put these in the garbage. As some of you commented on the last video, this surround is sticking out about 1/4 of an inch.
Oh, crap.
So that can't mount flush onto the grill. So I had to come up with some type of a spacer. And I searched the internet and I thought these might work.
Oh, brother.
It fits right there. I must have misread something because it's over an inch thick there.
Oh, dummies.
So I still thought it might work. So now I've got the cabinet out here. Let me show you what I found. Okay, I've got the tuner in here. Let's see if that's gonna work. Get in there. Let's try it. Rats. Why'd you have to be so thick for?
I'm sorry!
So we'll go to plan B, cutting a wood spacer. Let's see what I come up with. Here's a picture after I cut it out. I only had a 1/2 inch plywood, so it's kind of thick here. So I put it in there and it fit okay. I might have to sand it down a little bit after I cut out the inside portion. So here's the spacer here. I sanded quite a bit of it off here, you can see. It's no longer a ½ inch. So let's put it in here and try it, huh? Clears that very well. It's gonna go approximately like that. Let's see how much clearance we got down here. Well, there you go. Speaker frame and the bracket of the tuner, and it clears it by 1/4 inch. Now when I put the grill cloth in there and the cardboard that is glued to, it's going to bring it up another maybe 1/8 inch. So we're going to have enough to clear it. I got the 4 holes drilled. So let me show you how I did that. So I'm going to make a template using this transparency here. Now I've already done it. I just used these 2 drills as a spacer, and I marked where the holes go, and I drilled them out. Now the speaker screws are 632s, so you need a 9/64 drill to drill them out. I'm going to use this to line it up perfect, then we'll drill it. Now it's very important I get these holes lined up just right. I don't want to drill a hole here, that'll weaken it. I want to get it in the middle, like right about there. Let me take this. Okay, now to drill it.
Drill, baby, drill.
Okay, I'm going to mark the holes for the spacer. I'll drill these holes out off camera. Here's the grill cloth I'm going to use. I think this is the front. That's the rear. Since my grill cloth and the cardboard that's attached to it was all in pieces, I didn't really have a template, so I just made this. So let me glue this and we'll put it on there. Okay, I got the grill cloth laid down here, taped. I need to make the holes. And then we get a sneak peek of what it looks like. I'll lift this up and take a look at it.
Heavens to Murgatroyd!
Okay, let's see what it looks like. Okay, somehow I got to mark these holes onto the grill cloth there. Guess I'll just poke a hole through it with this scribe here. Let me hold it from one side here.
Be careful you don't cut yourself.
Ow! They got me.
You big oaf.
You spilled blood.
Son of a bitch.
Clark, watch your language.
I'm going to do the rest over here, off camera. And when I get that done, to see if we can mount the speaker in there. Well, it's time to recap this radio, and I've got to do that before I could put the tuner on there. Let's flip this over and I'll show you what I've been doing here. Now yesterday I was trying to figure out which cans these are and what these adjustments are, because there's no parts location list, so I had no idea what these cans were. The only thing I can do is just trace out the wires, and I found out that this one here is the first IF, and there's an adjustment here on the side. This one here is the second IF, and there's two adjustments here. The small can here is the oscillator coil, and while tracing that I couldn't figure out what happened to all the resistors. Like this resistor here, this radio has a bunch of this insulation material covering up the resistors. So I cut that off, and lo and behold, there's the resistor. The same thing happened down here. Let's get a shot of that. This is a 3 meg resistor, had this over it. And this 1 meg resistor here had this piece wrapped around it. Now this radio has 3 or 4 of these dual caps here. We saw that first one in the part 1 where I mixed up the ends of where they go. So this one is like a 00017 and a 0.03. Now I believe the point that goes up to the volume control here is the 0.03, and then there's the 0007 goes over here, so there would be one cap here hooked up to another cap here, and then the other side of this cap hooks up to ground down in here. So I had a hard time wrapping my mind around that, because sometimes they're not connected like that. They both share a ground, so it gets really confusing. So I'm going to start on this capacitor first, but first I want to take this volume control off and take a look at it.
Well, this is getting exciting.
See, it's a square design, and I ordered a new one from Mark Opat. This one supposed to be 3 meg ohm control. Got no switch on it, it's just a volume control. So I'm going to take this off and take a look inside it, because mine is measuring over 4 or close to 5 meg, and it's got some bad spots in there. So maybe I can fix it, maybe I can't. It's also really hard to turn and it's very stiff. So let's pull it off and take a look at it. I think that might be interesting. Hang on to your hats, this might be fun. That says Bradley Ohmmeter.
Huh?
Type A, patent applied for, Ellen Bradley Company, made in USA.
Isn't that weird?
Weird, huh? Looks like this is riveted on here. There's the other end of the rivet. So I can't take the stop off unless I grind that rivet down. So I'll be destroying the control to take that off.
Oh well.
Oh well. I think I'll grind it from this side here. Let's see if I can pry it now. Look at that. Oh, you see that? This thing slides on this wire wound coil, which is round. What a tongue twister that is. This is a rheostat. Let's just measure the full width of that coil. Holy crap. 8.3 meg.
Holy mackerel!
Of course, I don't know if it probably doesn't use the full length of the coil. There's a stop there and a stop there, so I don't know.
Would you mind telling me what this is all about?
Let me clean this off and we'll take a measurement from the wiper side. And there's still a lot of crud on that wire, so we'll just clean it up with this. Since I ground off that rivet, I needed to put a screw in here. Because that hole was so small, it's a very small screw, but I didn't have a nut for it. I had to put this plate in here and it's tapped there, so I needed this to snug that up. It does work here. You can see what it looks like. So it does sweep all the way back and forth to each side. So if that was an 8 meg reading, that thing is really high. So I'm not going to use this thing. I've already ordered one from Mark, so just for grins though, let's just test this and see what we get. Okay, let's test it. Gonna hook one end up to the wiper and one end up to the point here. Now that one's reading 8 meg. That's all the way up. So let's just turn it down, see what we get. It's not really going down too much. A little bit. Okay, now we're down to 7 meg. 6 meg. 5. 4. 2. And it dropped to 1.9 ohms. Holy crap. That's all the way down. So it went from 1.9 all the way up to 2.2 meg. And if you go all the way up, that's 8 meg. Now that is weird. Alright, let's go to the other side. Now we're in the 1 ohm range. We'll just go up. Now up to 380 ohms. 487 ohms. This side looks better. 780 ohms. 1.1K. 2.8K. 4K. 6K. 32K. 60K.
I'm bored.
125K. 227. 600K. Now we're into the megs. 1.6. 2.1. 3.4. 5.8. 833. That's all the way up. So at least that side is better, but it went all the way up to 8 meg. So either that was the way that was made, or it's messed up, and I'm not going to mess with it anymore.
I don't blame you.
Well, I've completed the recapping of this radio. Look at all the room I have in there. Let me show you a before picture, side by side with the after here.
It looks pretty good.
Room here. Room here. I put the new volume control on here. Remember it was this weird one? Now it's just a regular one. That's a 3 meg. You can see all these yellow capacitors. I changed the few resistors. There's one here, one here, one here. And I changed this one. This one is a new old stock 1 meg. So I put that in there. I think it looks good.
It looks like success at last.
Now I was thinking about putting a drop-in resistor in here and mounting it to the frame, but on this radio I'm going to go with an AC capacitor. I ordered a 25 microfarad cap. Hopefully it'll fit right in here, and that'll drop the voltage down a little bit. So I won't get that in till Monday, but right now I'm going to show a YouTube video of a Crosley 179 completed. Let's take a look at that. Now this video is from like 7 years ago, and it was made by, his channel's name is Sentimental Journeys, and I used a picture of his from the Radio Museum, and he emailed me and said this was his radio, and he gave me the link to this video here. Now you see how the dial is green? That's the actual color of his dial. Now mine is not green, but I was thinking about using LEDs to create the green effect, because I think that's cool. What do you think? So I want to thank Sentimental Journeys for that link.
Gee, thanks.
Your radio looks beautiful. And because of that green dial, you inspired me. I'm going to try to recreate that.
The band begins to go to town, and everyone goes crazy. You rock by your baby round till everything gets hazy. Hush by, I'll buy you this and that.
Okay, all you purists out there, it's your favorite time when you watch my videos. And that is when I paint the transformer red.
You jerk! You're an idiot.
Now the purists can't complain too much, since this is not black. How do you figure that, purists?
You suck.
So let me get out the colonial red. We'll take the clamshells off. I'm gonna polish these up a little bit better. Then it'll give me more access to the core, and we'll paint that by hand. Well, that took me about 20 minutes to take these screws out of here. These are those stupid square head screws, and the threads are all jacked up here. Maybe somebody had this thing apart before. Anyway, let's see what this looks like. There we go. Wow, look at that crummy looking chassis there. Okay, there's the other side. Oops. Alright, let the painting begin.
You pompous, stuck-up, snot-nosed, gumbag, fuck-faced, dickhead, asshole!
You ought not talk that way.
Okay, when that dries, we'll do a second coat off camera. So it's on to the next. Up next, we're going to clean these clamshells and get them shiny. With a 1-2 combination of Brasso and Flitz polish, let's take a look at them. Well, there they are. It'll have to do for another 89 years until somebody polishes it again. On to the next. Up next is these tube shields. I'm not going to show that on camera, But we'll take a gander at them when I get done with them. Well, there's the tube shields. Underneath all that dirt, there was a lot of rust and pitting. And you can see some of the pitting there through the paint here, but we don't worry about that. They look pretty good, and they're going to work fine. Next up is these tubes. Now, some of them are okay, but like these four, especially this globe tube, it's really dirty. We're going to shine these up, and we'll be one step closer to get this thing finished. Before we start experimenting, I just thought I'd show you what this looks like here. See those tubes all polished? That's beautiful.
It's true.
Look at this nice tube here. So shiny. Tube shields look good. And then I put in a nice cute looking fuse there. Ain't it adorable?
It's very sexy.
I shined up these fake capacitor cans here. And they're looking good. And the transformer. No need to comment on it.
For some moments in life, there are no words.
Are you guys in the mood for some testing?
Oh, no!
I am. And I told you I bought a AC cap I'm going to use to lower the AC line voltage. I bought a 25 microfarad because I was doing some testing earlier and I had a 17 that didn't quite work, and I had a 30 that didn't quite work, so I figured 25 should be spot on, so that's what I've got here. So let's just bring up the power. 60 volts, 90, it's about 100, 110. Okay, that's about 120.
Exactly correct.
Okay, the radio's working. Okay, I've got the meter hooked up to one leg of the AC. This is the other leg of the AC coming into the radio. Let's just check that. This is my line voltage coming in. That's 121 volts. Now if we follow this red wire, it goes around to up here, and it's going into the AC capacitor. So we should have about 121 there. So after it comes out of there, we should have reduced voltage. Now let's see what we're getting. Just let me put this over here so we won't have any accidents. So let's see what this is. Look at that, 114. That is just right. That's what I wanted.
Excellent.
I told you earlier I like the look of that green dial. So we're going to experiment with these LEDs here. So I bought these LEDs on eBay. Old Brendan, the YouTube guru, suggested I get these.
I'm a super genius.
You mad genius.
So welcome to another edition of Experimenting with Buzz. Now we're going to run a few tests here. We're going to test these with AC and DC. Now these are rated for 6.3 volts, just like the voltages for the tubes in a tube radio. However, my radio uses 2.5 volts AC.
Son of a bitch!
Wouldn't you know it? So basically, I can't run these off of 2.5 volts. They probably won't even light up. But Brendan suggested we could try to run AC through this with 120 volts and use a resistor in series with one of the legs and try that. So let's do that, huh? First we'll just test it with a battery. Now this is a 3.5 volt battery. We got to hook it up right. We got the positive here hooked up to the positive here. I marked it. So let's just see how bright this is running on a 3.5 volt battery. Okay. Let's see what it looks like on the radio here. Let me turn this off. Whoa, baby. Now it's too bright there on the camera, but in person it looks perfect. If I could get it like this, running on AC, then we got a winner here. Now let's take Brendan's advice. Hook up AC to it, run 120 volts to it, and he said all we need is a 250k resistor in series with one of the legs here. Let's try that. I don't have a 250, I've got 220 here, so we'll just try that. Will it light up? Hopefully it will. It lit up, although it's not too bright.
Oh, brother.
Okay, let's just measure the voltage across the LED after that resistor there. So that's 23.24, still down there. Let's just say 24 volts AC. Now this is supposed to be a 6.3 volts. So I don't have any specs on this this LED here. This is from China.
真的好感激你哦.
But 22 volts sounds kind of high. Let's measure the amp reading on it. Okay, we'll take one leg off it. Got the meter hooked up in milliamps. Let's just see what the amperage is on it. .45 milliamps. Not too bright. Let's see what it looks like on the radio. Let me see if I can do this without electrocuting myself.
Electricity is like a caged animal. It wants to get out. It is always looking for a place to get out. Always looking for a place to get out. It does not rest. It wants out.
Now that shows up a lot better on the camera than it does in person. That would not be bright enough. Okay, now we're going to try this with a 50k resistor in there and see if it's any brighter. So let's see what happens. That does look brighter. What do you think? Let's measure the current on that one. Okay, that's that boosted that up. That's 2 milliamps.
Yes, I see.
Let's check the voltage across the LED. Watch it buzz. Okay, that's measuring 24 volts. That seemed kind of high to me. Now Brendan was running tests too, and he said his was down to 5, almost 6 volts, and that was with a 250k resistor. I've got the 50k. I'm still running 24 volts across that. So this circuitry is obviously different than the LED that Brendan was testing. I don't know. Okay, let's just see what the 50k light looks like on the radio here. Now that might work, but that's a lot brighter on the camera, I can tell you that. Well, it's been 2 days since I ran those tests, and I've been trying to figure out what I really want to do with this thing. I wasn't too crazy about the AC tests, but I do like the looks of the LED when it's running on DC. So I was thinking, if I can get a small enough DC supply that would fit under the chassis, I could run it off 5 volts. And here's what I bought.
What the hell is that shit?
This is a 5 volt charger for a phone or other devices. I'm going to hook this up and see what the LED looks like.
Well, you're crazy.
And you can call me crazy, but I like this idea. Let's try it. Okay, I just cut the cord so I could wire this up here. So let's plug this in here.
This really is exciting for me.
See what we get. Exciting, huh?
This is fun.
That's working.
You gotta be blind not to see it, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty bright. Okay, let's check the current on this thing here. Come on. $25 milliamps DC. Let's see what it looks like on the radio. Beautiful.
Hey, I like it. I like it a lot.
It looks perfect to me. Now I need to figure out how I'm going to mount this thing. Since that's an LED, it's got to be aimed just right. It's got to be aimed straight on at an angle here. I'm going to spend a few hours this morning trying to figure out how to mount that. Well, it's been a long day here. I've been trying to figure out how to mount this so we get the best possible view of the dial. Now the first thing I came up with is maybe mount it on plexiglass or something.
Oh, brother.
But then I was left with how do I get an angle at that? So I went back to the drawing board and found this and said maybe I can do something with this thing.
Oh, brother.
Thought maybe I could hook it up like that, because I'm going to need an angle pointing down like that. After a while I gave up on that. Then I thought maybe if I could take a piece of wood and drill a hole at an angle, that might work. Like that.
Oh, brother.
Well, then I thought, well, maybe I don't need to drill at an angle. I just need to have a piece like that and drill a hole. Since I already got this at an angle, I can just drill a straight hole through it like that. And I tried different angles.
Oh, brother.
So I finally came up with this. Let me show you what that looks like on the radio. I want to glue it on this here. It's not in the way, so there'll be no problem with that. So let's see what it looks like. See how it's aimed there perfectly? I just gotta glue it. I think it'll be all set. Here's where I mounted the AC capacitor. I used Velcro to stick it on there. That ain't gonna go anywhere. So for the 5-volt adapter, I figure I could mount it right in here.
Perfect.
Here's where I hook up the AC to it. Put some Velcro on that. And we're in like Flynn. Buzz, you did it again.
Yes, you did.
I've got some footage that I forgot to show earlier of me installing the speaker. Let's take a look at that. Now's the time for the world famous Buzz Spacer.
Beautiful, graceful, elegant.
Hey, be careful! Be careful!
Okay, I got the 5-volt source wired in here. Now I'm going to put some Velcro on it. Well, I painted my holder here black. That should make some people happy. I was going to paint it red, but I didn't want to overdo it. So I'm going to glue this on here. Let's take a look at the front so I can center it right. That looks pretty good. Now once I glue this LED holder down, I can still adjust it by just turning the LED here. See that? So I got a little bit of play in there. Let's glue it. Now to glue that, I'm going to use Little Tiny. That's my teeny weeny hot glue gun. So it's gonna go like that. So I want to put some glue. Oops. What have I done here?
You big dummy.
You dumb cluck.
Let's put it in the cabinet and take a look at it, see what it looks like. Okay, let's try it. Now I've got a big floodlight shining right on there because without the light, the LED is so bright that you can't really see anything. So I think this is going to look good. We'll just turn it on. We'll see the LED come on and we'll tune a few stations. Here we go. I'll turn it on. Wasn't that cool?
Well, but he's still getting a 40 in that poll, I believe, about a 40.
Well, he had 39 in the other polls. That's for a sitting president, not a high mark.
So you're not seeing it quite seep over to the vote. No, that's right. His job.
Now this whole chassis is going to be lifted up. You see a little gap up here? That's not going to show once I get the bottom on the chassis. Stay tuned for the reveal. Don't miss this. After 4 months and hundreds of hours of work, I'm looking forward to it too. Coming up next. Don't go away. Okay, the time is finally here. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the reborn 1934 Crosley Model 179. The old lady is 89 years old, and the way she looked 4 months ago, she looked it.
How dare you?
But now she looks like a young girl again. And you know what they say, girls just want to have fun. Well, I bet you never heard that song playing on a 1934 radio, right? Well, I hope you enjoyed the series. I gave this radio everything I had, and I think it looks pretty classy. Let's hope it lives another 89 years. Old Buzz will be back next month with a new project, so I hope to see you then. Good night, everybody. Up next, everybody's favorite gnome, Dickel introducing another 8mm film on Buzz Cinema.
Hello, folks. Well, I know girls like to have fun, but gnomes like to have fun too. So welcome to another edition of Buzz Cinema. I am your host, Dickel Aflockett. Tonight's 8mm film was made in the summer of 1968 and is titled From Rags to Riches. It was written and directed by 17-year-old Buzz, and in this film, he introduces his bum character.
In other words, he plays himself.
This was filmed in and around Torrance, California by the railroad tracks. Buzz was lucky enough to get a shot of a train passing by, and he used it in this film. Buzz experimented with double exposure to create a special effect, and you will see that in this film. Okay, Mr. Projectionist, roll the film!
What? Damn it. I missed my train. Maybe I can catch it. Get these shoes on. I never catch that train. Boy, am I hungry. I sure could go for some turkey right now. Or maybe a nice big ham. Let's see if I can find any food around here. There's gotta be something in these cans, maybe. Nothing. Hey, what's that? Ah, a cigarette. It's better than nothing. Well, look at that. Is that? It must be my lucky day. A quarter. Wow. What the hell? What is this? Let me open this thing. I wonder what's in it. Well, I'll be a blue-nosed gopher. Money. $10,000. I'm in the dough, baby. I'm in the dough. Look at that beautiful money. Why, with this money, I could probably buy a car. Maybe a house, too. And a new suit of clothes instead of the rags I have on my back. I can live big. Big with this money.
Hey, you. Give me that money. Put that dough back in the pouch, you. Faster. Faster. So long, sucker.
goes my new car, my house, and my new suit of clothes. Well, maybe these clothes aren't so bad. I think they still got some life in them. They look pretty good still. I should be lucky just to have these. Hey, wait. I still have that quarter I found. Yeah, a quarter. I can buy me some Zero bars and some bubble gum. I'll just head into town here. Hey, look at that. A flower. I'm gonna look dapper in town tonight. Maybe I can even get a hot date tonight.